So in order to look after yourself, self-talk, mental health, physical health, it's about keeping that brain active. Your subconscious mind is on 24/7. Okay, so that's even on while you're asleep. So your brain is like any muscle in your body. When you use it a lot, it gets worn out. Okay, now don't get me wrong, you can use your muscles a bit and you can grow them, but if you overuse them, if you over-exercise, then you're going to damage your muscles. And it's exactly the same with the brain. So my question to you is, when do you give your brain a break? And it's a rhetorical question, you don't have to answer it. If you've got an answer, great, pop it in there. But the point is, when do you give your brain a break? If your brain is on even when you're asleep, when and how can you give your brain a break? Well, whilst you're physically exercising, you might still be thinking of stuff, but at least you've got a better chemical in your system, so your brain isn't as taxed at that point. The point I'm getting to is mindfulness. And some people on this call might still today think mindfulness or the frame mindfulness or well-being or mental health well-being is all a bit pink and fluffy, okay? Look, what mindfulness aims to do is, when your brain is focused on 7 to 9 things at once on every 7 seconds, okay? So remember that, 7 to 9 things at once going in your head every 7 seconds. What mindfulness tries to do is bring you down to one thing. Getting you to focus on one thing. And some people on this call today will already do mindfulness and not know it's mindfulness. So if you take your dog for a walk to clear your head, you might get lost in some music and you're only focused on the music. You might have a bubble bath with candles around and just chill out and calm down. One of the main things with mindfulness is focusing on the way you breathe, because it focuses you just on one thing. The point I'm making is mindfulness is really, really useful in resilience. Okay, because it's not just your physical body that needs looking after and resting and so on and so on and so on. And yes, you need the right self-talk to plan all of that stuff out, but it's also the brain that needs a rest. And the brain benefits from mindfulness. Calm. If you want to go as far as meditation, that's absolutely fine. One of the most calm and effective people I have ever met was the managing director of Boots, the chemist, many years ago. His name was Pradip Patel, and he used to get up at 3:30 every morning and meditate for an hour and a half every day before he went to work. And he was a very calm person, very effective. And he used to think, and he didn't go to bed at 8, 9 o'clock at night. He had energy all day. If there was an evening event, he would be there, but he would still get up and meditate for an hour and a half every day. His response when people used to say, "Aren't you tired?" and he used to say, "Well, meditation is better than sleep." He said, "I get more rest meditating than I do when I'm asleep." And the science would argue that as well, because when you're asleep, your brain's going, it's just not in order. When you're meditating, you're trying to focus on one thing rather than several things that your brain's going through, all your dreams and why people have weird dreams and so on. Now, I'm not for a moment suggesting everybody wants to meditate for an hour and a half every day, but you might want to think a little bit about how you can calm your mind once a day. Just calm it, even if it's for 5 or 10 minutes. There are apps that you can do that do this for you now, or you can just go out and calm your mind and so on and so on and so on, okay? So, mental health, we need to look after that as well in order to be more resilient.